Hi, welcome to this video date, which is on the 19th of February. It's Tuesday, and we are just going to update one of our favourite Forex pairs today, which we've featured in a good few videos over the last few weeks, is GBP NZD, and we are extremely bullish of the British pound. It's now coming up to a critical level. If that level gives way, I think the pound will gain traction to the upside. I mean, the pound has gone up, but you have had reasonably large retracements as well. I think the trend will accelerate to the upside. Now, also in this video, I want to talk a little bit about trading high impact news events and going against the majority view and then confirming your entry with price action. They're very often the best risk to reward trade. So we'll discuss that in a little bit of detail as well. But now we will go to the chart. But please do keep in mind, it is my view as of right now. It can change in line with the market conditions. If you want all our trading techniques, our daily technical analysis of 14 major Forex pairs, including this one, you can get live access to our member center on the link beneath this video. Right, let's take a look at the chart.
Right, on the chart of GBP NZD daily, and just go through my levels in a moment, and also discuss the significance of this candle, which gave us our last entry. But in terms of any Forex pair, say it regularly, you should know the sentiment behind the chart, because the sentiment behind the chart, you get clues to where the chart is going to go in terms of good entries, how far a trend might run. You can't see that from technicals or price action alone, because obviously the sentiment is reflected in the chart. Say a lot doesn't come out of nowhere. Okay, it's not all about pretty patterns, and this chart is actually pretty messy. Now, in terms of the sentiment behind it, I just written here, pound very dominated by Brexit, no deal or deal. The market's been focused on that for a good while. Found this quote really significant. It was at the weekend, actually. French President Emmanuel Macron and other European countries are ready to give Britain legally binding assurances that the Irish backstop is temporary, to aid a last-ditch attempt by the EU to help get the withdrawal agreement across the line next month. And that's from Bruno Waterfield. He's a respected journalist for the Times and has got that information from his contacts. He said for a while, the big guns in the EU do not want the UK crashing out without a deal. Okay, everyone talks about it being bad news for the UK. It's bad news for the EU as well. They're nearly in recession, as we discussed at the weekend when we did the Euro video. The UK crashes out a deal, guarantees a recession in Eurozone. It's bad for both sides. Both sides will, I think, get a deal together. There might be a delay though, but a deal will eventually be done. If you take Brexit out of the equation, okay, GBP against NZD. GBP is a buy. Okay, UK data has been pretty good. UK would hike rates if there was no Brexit. Okay, New Zealand's nowhere near hiking rates. GBP about 14% oversold in the basket of currencies relative to its 5-year average. That is very oversold. GBP is not just oversold on the NZD and numerous currencies. The reason I picked the NZD is because I consider the NZD an overbought currency. Most overbought the majors, and you got British pound oversold on the other side. So from our perspective, it makes sense for us to trade this pair. Now, when we first decided to do a reasonable size position in this and did a video on it, here, immediately stopped out. But we eventually got a decent long trade, 350 pips, stopped out, came back in, it was another 350. This retracement was a bit bigger than I thought it would be. Managed to get in on that big blue. That was only 150. Then we dropped down on the build up to the UK Parliament vote on Theresa May's Brexit proposal. Now, in terms of, I think it was going to be rejected. Okay, this is the candle on the day. After it had been rejected, you saw no follow through selling. So that's basically alerting us that we wanted to buy. and get the opportunity on this blue here. You get a tail poke through that tail, and you know that the sellers, there's no more sellers down here. It's buy the rumour, sell the fact. The vote has been, this blue gives us our opportunity to get long, and we elected to come through those candles there. Literally got triggered near enough the high of the day, 187.65. Next candle pokes down but finishes nice and blue, and this one's blue as well. So we've moved away. Yeah, I know it's only just over 200 pips. We've moved away from our entry, and now we're at resistance. You've got 190 and the 20-day moving average. Okay. Now, in terms of, just draw a quick trajectory in, which goes through those tails there. I've got that quite right. Sorry, I have a real problem drawing diagonal lines. There it is. So basically, you're going to get support at the daily low, in my view, and then this is pretty firm support. Okay. So what would you do if you wanted to come into this fresh? You could buy the dip. Okay. My own view would be wait for this 20-day moving average to give way. Very often the 20-day moving average is significant, like when you had some pokes at it here, and it gets above it, these tails go through it and immediately back through it and above or up. Yeah, I just like using the 20-day moving average. So clear of that, and then where are we going to run to? You technically could say here is important or here. I personally don't think so. Good news is in for the NZD. Bad news in for the UK. So discounted. I'd be looking for a move higher, higher volatility to follow through to the upside. And I'm still sticking with my target of 204. A lot of people say it's ambitious. We'll see. But you could say 2 is the level before that, in my view. So basically 1,000 pips. Obviously you've got to manage the trade as it goes. Where do you want your stop? If you come in above this 20-day moving average, I would have it back behind here. Okay. Once you get away from the 20-day moving average, it could probably come up behind those two bodies here, the two big reds, the blue, and that's almost the open of the day on the other blue. I'll take that off just because I've got so many lines. But you can see it's a good risk to reward. Obviously, it's got to come to fruition, but 4 to 1, 5 to 1 to the first level, then obviously if you got to the second level, it's more. And this chart, yeah, the pound has obviously had its dips, but yeah, for me, the odds just favour a move higher now, and perhaps a smoother move higher without such deep retracements. Okay, we'll see how it goes, but for me, it still remains one of my favourite pairs, and I'm just hoping we can take out that 20-day moving average. I think it should be about 1950, if I remember correctly, but you can look it up. But pound starts to gain traction through that level. I think you're going to see a nice trend to the upside. Right, that is the video for today. Thank you very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.